All right, everyone. There's a very interesting article link in the description, The Rise of the Cannabis Mothers. This is something that is not necessarily the greatest. I know multiple mothers who smoke marijuana, and it doesn't really cause a problem, but it kind of depends on the person. It also kind of depends on the strain. Generally speaking, and more broadly, if you're taking care of small children, you should not be inebriated while doing so. Um, that being said, again, I've known several people who are mothers who smoke pot, sometimes a very large amount of pot. Again, doesn't cause a problem in their particular lives, but there are cases where people get fried out of their gourd and, or they're spending a bunch of money on cannabis products. And so they have relatively less money to care for the household, and it can be a problem. Now, the justification here is basically, well, it helps me calm down. It helps me mother more easily. I can deal with the vibes, man. Like kids trash in the house, and but I don't care. Yeah, that's really not that different from day drinking at a daycare. So it's not necessarily the greatest thing that could be going on. For instance, my mom smokes pot. Here in the state of Vermont, it's legal, by the way. But I'm an adult child. I'm not a 2-year-old. There's a little bit of a difference between the two of them. Do I believe it should be illegal? No, I do not believe in the drug war. If a person has become incapacitated by some sort of substance use, and there is a problem, the child gets injured or something, and it's due to that substance use, it could be seen as an aggravating factor. Generally speaking, though, well, I don't think it should necessarily be smiled upon. I don't think it should be outright illegal. If it was, it should be the minorest of misdemeanors that carries a fining offense or something like that. I don't believe it's a reason to take children out of a home. Again, unless the parents are constantly blasted and they're beginning to they forgot to they passed out, they forgot to bring Sally to school or something like that, and truancy. If there's some sort of compounding factor, that would be a problem. What I would suggest, though, generally speaking, is that people shouldn't be constantly inebriated around their kids. Now, let's say your kid has gone off to school and you decide to smoke a bowl as you go about your day. That's fine. There's nothing wrong with that. It doesn't really make any difference. Make sure to smoke outside, not around the kids. That would be basically the only caveat that I would institute. But the concept that you should have to utilize substances to deal with the stress of parenting in and of itself, well, I'm not necessarily the most amenable to the necessity of so doing. There are other ways to de-stress. You can scream into a pillow because your kid just decided to destroy your priceless antique or something like that. If you are a parent, you're going to deal with stress. Baby just shat all over itself. Now you have to change a diaper and the carpet. Kid just decided that it was a good idea to water the plant so much that the water was dripping down through all over the floor. Kid decided, hey, I'm going to give the plant a haircut with my scissors or something like that. These things happen all of the time. I've seen it firsthand on multiple occasions. Not only do I have a daughter of my own, but I also helped to rear up my niece. Actually, I was babysitter for an extended period. There was one I call it Hell Week actually, although it was 2 weeks long. Every single day on the weekdays, I had to get up at like 5:30 in the morning or something in order to babysit all day until the father got off work. And there was one blessed day, and this was a great day. She fell asleep in the car, and I tried to get her out without waking her up. I succeeded, and it was great because she spent virtually the entire time asleep. And so I put on Jacques Cousteau. I had a great time babysitting that day because she must have been tired as hell. Uh, Many such funny stories. But I wasn't inebriated. The only thing I was using was caffeine. And when you're waking up at 5:30 in the morning, you probably need it. I was paid in Red Bulls, quite literally, and I thought that was hilarious. I needed them. So you arrive there and there are a couple of Red Bulls in the refrigerator waiting for you, and that's the day's pay. I didn't have anything else to do really other than make my videos, so I was happy about that. I wasn't smoking pot, that's for sure. It's again, it's something that you don't countenance it. You don't consider it to be a good thing, but it shouldn't be outright illegal. It sort of depends on the situationship that you would find yourself in. And of course, often, maybe one parent is smoking cannabis and the other one's not. I like how this focuses on mothers. You do realize that dads do child rearing too. If you were to write an article, this is a little bit of hypocrisy here. I did note this. It's saying the rise of the cannabis dads. I have a feeling that the reaction to the article would be more net negative than the idea of mothers smoking pot. I noticed that men and women are held to a bit of a different standard in some senses. That being said, and again, kids at school or at daycare or something, you decide to smoke a couple bowls. I don't know. It's not necessarily the most hard-hitting news of the day. We're going to talk about Marine Le Pen later, but I'm saving that for the live stream for a reason. So yeah, the rise of the cannabis mothers. I've got one, but I'm 37, so I don't require my diaper changed. I'll have to wait another 30 years before that becomes a problem again. That's about all. Peace out.